for years. So I want to coin 2 terms that I made up, and they are not terms that currently exist. So they don't have definitions. I am making the definition. The first term or phrase I want to coin is called infant row. What is an infant row? Like a baby, like an infant. Row is something that's in a line, and infant row is 2 or more. Hi, how are you, Bluegrass Paranormal? Infant row. I was just trying to coin some new terms. Infant row is 2 or more gravestones or memorials for infants from the same family or from other families, as long as they're in a row, and there's 2 or more. Also, the other term that I want to coin and make a definition for that doesn't exist yet is called roadside cemetery. And that's where people are not buried. The definition is roadside cemetery is people are not buried there, but there's some kind of memorial or a memorial cross that marks the accident site or within the general area of the accident site. So infant row and roadside cemetery are my new terms with the definitions that I made up for cemeteries. From now on, you got something new to use. But I'm okay. I still have a little bit of a cough. I hope you're good. You made me hungry talking about groceries, but I do want to take credit for these phrases because it's hard work. It's something that I noticed. Other people are not out there like, oh, well, I noticed that sometimes infants are in a row, and part of the infant row definition is, well, I guess I shouldn't put that in there, but basically, when there's an infant row, the cemetery, this is not part of the definition, but basically infant row is similar to when a cemetery says, okay, we're burying small bodies. We're going to designate this area or we're going to designate this row. Because cemeteries do have designated areas. So they might say, even though you as an individual can choose, well, I would like to be buried over here. I would like this location by the water under the tree. At the same time, they may have that already a designated area. Like, obviously, there'd be space for you, but they might have that as a designated area for just the small cremations where they put stones down, memorial stones or plaques. Or it might be designated to the infants, the infant rows. It might be designated to people that have stones there, but they're buried somewhere else or their body was never found. And so those are the 2 things that I really do want to take credit for. People are not out there giving the roadside memorials very much attention. Most time I go out there, things are very old or weathered. So if someone's coming out there, there must be a time period gap because, thank you. Must be time period gap because, it takes time between putting something new out and it getting weathered, especially those floral arrangements, unless it's beating down super hot sun. It takes a while for the stuff to get faded or weathered. Or there's nothing there at all. And there are some where the crosses are pretty much falling apart or they're actually laying down, but still important to recognize. But um, there's a few places I went that were confusing because they would have more than one memorial cross with the same name on it, but one looked newer than the other. So I couldn't tell if there was two Ashleys in the accident or if somebody came out and gave her a new cross and didn't take the other one down. So that's something I would have to look up, but it's not easy to look up an accident if you don't have names or a day. You know, they don't have a Google search for accidents on this street and that street or route and county on the highway. It's going to be impossible to find it. So I think that the roadside cemeteries need more attention, and it's very easy to pass them. There's a lot that I didn't stop for, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll remember, but I forget. Like as we're talking now, I remember some that are actually down the street. I would just have to drive around a little to figure out where it was. Um, Down in the town, one way, there's a memorial cross at a railroad track because somebody committed suicide. They did have a note on them, but the police and the paper did not tell anybody about it. And then over here on this side, there's a memorial cross street from a bar. And I noticed that a lot of intersections around train tracks, turns, the intersection could be a stop sign area. Those are common places to find these memorial crosses. We can just assume that any of them by a bar is probably alcohol related. And it's okay to assume that if somebody has a memorial cross outside of a motorcycle bar, that it was highly likely there was a motorcycle involved. So it's just kind of like trying to investigate it in your own mind or make sense of it in your own mind, which is what we should be doing, if we're going to take time to look at it. But you could always get, because things are not cheap, you could always get a bouquet of flowers, and a bouquet of flowers might come with 20 flowers. Just take one to each memorial cross or one to each thing. That way you're stretching your money out. Yeah, someone might be like, oh, well, it's only like $15 for a bouquet of flowers. Well, that's a lot of money to me because it adds up. That's how I make my money, is $15 here, $30 there, whatever, 20. When it builds up, that's how I pay my bills, is working in small amounts. Oh, thank you. So the flowers, you gotta stretch out your money, because for you it might be, oh well, I have an extra $300 a week, but the truth is, if you're just blowing $15 all the time, it adds up. Like that's how I pay my bills, is adding up small amounts of money. So I know that if you're spending small amounts of money, how much I get to pay my bills is how much you're going to lose paying stuff. So I don't know how people can get donations doing this. You would have to find a sponsor or something. But you would have to find somebody with similar interests. Maybe a haunted house would sponsor you, Bluegrass Paranormal. Like anything's possible, but people don't give me things for this. Recently, I got SD card. I do have a friend that gives me gas money, or he'll give me money. And he also has been on my YouTube as well. He wants to not have his name brought up, but basically, we did nature walk together. Um, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't get some of these videos. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. Um, so, and Bluegrass Paranormal, you're lucky you have each other. Never know till you try. Oh, yeah, self-funded. It's Bluegrass Paranormal. So, you're lucky to have each other, because obviously I made a mistake paying a homeless person to try to be my adventure partner, and I was kind of taking advantage of it, because I didn't take advantage of him. I took care of him, but I took advantage of the fact that I was like, you know what? I've been on the street before, and if I can get this homeless person, they already know what it's like to be in a crappy place, these abandoned buildings. They already know what it's like to be out taking out in the cold all winter. So he's not gonna have a problem if I go to a cemetery when it's 20 degrees out. So I was kind of like not really being sensitive. At the same time, like, that was his environment. I did spoil him. But the whole thing is, there was a group of men in Indiana, and they're like doing the thing that I wanted to do, which is urbexing. And there was a comment made years ago, maybe I could meet them. But I kind of got the impression that they weren't really okay with a female with the group of guys. So it's like a lot of things. Oh, thanks. Well, Harley was mentally ill. It was sad, but it was scary. And he was very smart. So I absolutely believe that he was an engineer. He used a lot of terms that an engineer would use. It just wasn't clear. Like, if you look at the Gary Methodist Church Cathedral thing, for urbexing, there's a scene in the video where I was trying to get him to acknowledge what kind of engineer he was. And it was confusing, because then he turned around and said, "Oh no, I was a civil engineer." And I'm like, what? So, but he did have some kind of education, but it's hard to find somebody who will do something with you, My first husband would have never done nothing like this for me. Besides the fact that he was chasing women and that's all he cared about. But he would have never done this. I have friends that won't, not a lot of friends, but I have friends that won't ever do it, or they can't, or they don't want to be outside like that. And I have to pull teeth sometimes, like, I'll give you this if you come with me, or, you can put $50 on something to come with me for a week or whatever. I'm not saying now, because things are tight now. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, the right person will come on. A few people that go with me, they complain. It's like the whole time I'm hearing complaining. So it kind of dampers everything, and it puts me in a position where I can't get all the video I want, or I don't feel comfortable doing something, or I know that they're not going to come out with me, and I'm doing it by myself, because a lot of times I'll be far away from the vehicle. And for a lot of my cemetery videos, I did it by myself. Recently is when I start having people come with me. There's a channel called Cemetery Views, and he lives in the same state, and we've gotten together a few times and traveled different parts of the state to do cemetery videos. He goes off and does his own thing, and I'm doing mine. I don't want to talk over his video, and what he captures is not something I'm doing. And, but I do try to sneak in the whole behind the scenes of cemetery views because, like, that's important to me. It's important to me that another channel's with me. But like, otherwise, I'm not standing there when he takes videos. Bluegrass Paranormal says that they go out together for safety and because they enjoy it. And you're still lucky that you have each other to do that. On top of the fact that a lot of couples wouldn't go do that together. A lot of couples like to do things separately and include other people and not each other. So it's just a struggle to find somebody who has the same interest, will take the time. Somebody might say, oh, I like ghost hunting. They're willing to watch an hour TV show, but they're not willing to go out with you ghost hunting. So most people just tell me, no, they think it's creepy. And I do get scared a lot still. Yeah, I don't have as much fear, but I get scared in the cemetery every time. There's always a pocket area. Sometimes it makes me feel like I'm fine taking a video, and then all of a sudden I have this feeling like I need to run, like I need to get out of there now. And I'm not trying to run. So gotta deal with it. But so I wanted to coin those terms. It's very important. Infant row and roadside cemetery. Very important. Please give me credit for it. My name is Rachel Mann. And one reason why I want credit is because I'm trying to make this part of my life now. I plan on setting up learning courses where people can take my learning courses for a very cheap amount of money. I want to learn all the definitions I can and everything I can so I can teach other people, so that I can do different kinds of videos. Maybe even in the far future, if I become an expert, I will be, there'll be an article about it in a magazine, or maybe somebody will have me go talk on a radio. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I'm not trying to get famous looking at other people that passed away, but I have made this part of my life. I want to make it more of my life. And in that way, I deserve the credit. It's like Christopher Columbus. You know what I'm saying? I feel like what I do is big too. So I can compare myself to him. But I hope that other people come up with more terms and definitions too. And it's important to take responsibility and claim that term and idea. And I hope you share it with other people and put your name on it, because there really isn't a lot when it comes to cemeteries and even ghost hunting. There's room for more terms and definitions, and there's a lot of things people don't really talk about. So an easy way to coin what you say is put it on a t-shirt. Bluegrass Paranormal, you can put it on a t-shirt or something like that. A sticker. People love stickers. I used to sell things, and I made most of my money off the stickers, not selling things that I had. People were buying stickers, $1 here, $3 there, $5, $6 a sticker. And I could pay a bill off of a sticker sales. So it's crazy. And it sounds so stupid because then what was the point of me having anything else? I should just have stickers stored. But take responsibility and credit for what you do. Not trying to be boring. Also, I think it's very important to show your self-expression, so not doing what everybody else does. Like, I went to art school and a lot of people were drawing manga, drawing anime, drawing Disney, and they only knew how to draw like that, and if you do your own thing or have your own experience, you don't have to worry about doing it someone else's way. But somebody's coming over soon, so I can't stay on here very long. But I appreciate the company, and I hope you pass the news on and use my terms, please. Maybe someday it'll be marked on the internet. Oh, thank you. I want to draw another one. Actually, I hope this doesn't bother you, but it's actually right next to me. But it was my water bill. My water bill. It folds. But I guess that's good coping skill. Draw a picture on the back of a water bill. But hi, Regina. We were just talking a lot. We got Bluegrass Paranormal on here. And you know what? You guys have the wrench because you're moderators. You got the tool sign. Regina, are you going to go somewhere now? Are you going to go somewhere this week? But, oh yeah. Yeah, I like you guys in the chat. So, anyway. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to post, but I don't know when, but I do have the video. And I have posted videos like this before, is the sounds of a cemetery. Like, if I could, that might even be a phrase I coin. Sounds of a cemetery are wind chimes, because you go to a cemetery and that's what you hear is the music of the wind chimes. So it's very beautiful, and it's very pretty to watch. Oh, Adventures with Regina said she has cemeteries up north that she'd like to go to. But Bluegrass Paranormal, also, from my experience, from getting pushed and touched and paranormal things happening around me, the ghosts love the wind. I'll explain it. Hold on. The ghosts love the wind. It's like how you're putting a light toy outside so it's easy to move. When there's wind, it's like that energy. Something about the wind is like 20 times more powerful than if there was none. Obviously, the wind's not going to blow the cat ball. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, it seems when there is wind, even though it wouldn't blow the cat ball, but it does. It's almost like an extra assistance force, almost like a current, like how the salmon are going one way. Like, that doesn't make sense because they go the opposite. But fish. Oh yeah. Adventures with Regina is talking about cemeteries, like family cemeteries or cemeteries on properties. And okay, I'm just going to tell you how to figure out who these people are in case you need to make a phone call. If you know on Google Maps where you're going, you don't use the street view. Don't use not the street view. Don't use the satellite that shows the trees and the roads. Don't use that. You zoom in, that just light gray thing with the lines. You zoom in on the squares that represent the house wherever the street is. So it will have a number on it. So for example, if I look up a business on Main Street, but I really want an address to somebody else who's on the other end of the block, if I zoom into that square where the building is, it says a number like 501 or 102 for whatever that address is. Once you have the number and you know the street, then you can go to, and this is important, and I'm telling you, and I've done a lot of research, and this stuff's not easy to find. But once you know the number to the building, the street it's on, go to fastpeoplesearch.com, do a reverse address, and it will give you whoever lives there's name and number, email, whatever. I've done it before. One time I got the person's information not knowing what street I was on, but knowing the town I was next to and seeing the last name on a rock. So I I don't remember how I figured that one out, but I ended up with the person's cell phone number. But unfortunately, they were sick and they didn't want me to look at the church that was on their property. They used it as storage, so that might have been an issue. They weren't rude. So that's how you find it, Regina. Oh yeah, go to local library. Yeah, local library will say who. Oh, that's cool to find stuff in your yard that's antique. So if you get that information, you can, say, hey, I happen to know that there's a cemetery in that area or on your property. Can I come look at it? So that's what I would do, Regina. Adventures with Regina, to try to locate people. Otherwise, if it's a cemetery that has historical marker and it's on Google Maps as a historical thing, I'm under the impression that I can go look at that no matter where it is. So unfortunately, a lot of those go searching for it and you can't even get to the cemetery because it's overgrown. There's bushes. There's no entrance anymore. And that I regret not getting videos of that. Videos where it's like trying to find a cemetery, but it's a fail. So, oh yeah, I thought that name was weird. Thanks for whoever got rid of that. I just thought it was a weird name. Some people like to post links too to adult things. Oh yeah, thanks, Regina. It was like a video game. It's like Pac-Man. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so there's ways to find out who you need to contact. if you want to do that. There are times and situations where I feel like it's appropriate and it's okay for me to go in. And a lot of that is based off of the information I got off Google Maps. The way that they're promoting the cemetery, the things they say, the hours, and everything like that. I don't know where these people come from. Doesn't make any sense. You know, I don't even watch nasty things on YouTube to attract people who want to be nasty or perverts. But I'm going to get off, and I wish I could stay on longer because everybody's having good conversation. We can talk again. Please, if you didn't see the beginning of the video, go back and watch it. Oh, I'm glad you love to be a moderator. Adventures with Regina. Oh, yeah. Bluegrass Paranormal said they noticed that there's inappropriate people on live streams. But thank you very much. I'm going to get off. Please watch the beginning. I would like everyone to know my phrases. And I hope that everybody gets to go where they want and that you have the money and everything to do what you want. And we had talked about money earlier. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.